Hey y'all, meteorologist Sydney Goldberg here from the First Alert Desk, and it's Monday. It's the start of a new week. It's actually a holiday week, and we have some changes on the way. But first today, we're going to start to notice that later into the afternoon and this evening. Much warmer than we started off this morning. Started off nice and cool, now into the mid to upper 70s, 77, Gonzales, Homa, Patterson, New Orleans. Here in Baton Rouge, though, we're right at the mid 70s. So we're going to continue to heat up. I do think we'll eventually get into the low 80s today. Quite the difference compared to yesterday. Yesterday felt really nice. So live look at our First Alert radar network. Nice and dry. Not seeing anything quite yet, but that will change in the afternoon and this evening ahead of an approaching weather system that looks to bring the potential for some severe weather late tonight into early tomorrow morning. So in terms of temperatures, warm. We'll climb to the low 80s this afternoon. By the afternoon, you'll also notice we'll start to increase those rain chances. There is a potential for some isolated showers and storms ahead of this next approaching cold front through the afternoon and into the evening. Temperatures will drop off into the 70s, and we'll also watch those rain chances continuing to increase throughout the evening and into the overnight hours. Here's the system that's driving this next strong cold front. You can see in satellite and radar, we've got a counterclockwise swirl near Wichita. That's what's pulling a cold front through and sparking up all these showers and storms. I actually saw a good bit of complex of storms moving through Dallas earlier this morning, so that's headed our way, and that's why we do have a potential for severe weather. Storm Prediction Center has highlighted a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for severe weather from Mississippi, parts of northern and central Louisiana, and eastern Texas is underneath that level 2 out of 5 slight risk for severe weather. And then surrounding that in the green, that's that marginal 1 out of 4. So our area is included just on the south side of that slight risk of severe weather, mainly clipping Point Capee Parish, the Felicianas, all the way up into Tangipahoa Parish as well. And then just to the south of us, kind of encompassing the interstate corridors, is that 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather. Then once we get into early Tuesday morning, that's when we shift into that level 1 out of 4 marginal risk for a majority of our area. But it does look like, I'll show you this in a second, the modeling, that it's going to weaken as we get into the early parts of the morning into the afternoon. So there is a really low end severe weather threat, especially as we get later into the day tomorrow. So I'll show you the futurecast in terms of the timing. Here's about 1:30, 2 o'clock, already starting to see some isolated showers and storms popping up. Some of those could be on the stronger side as well. Here's 3 p.m. Again, starting to see some showers and storms developing out west, heading eastward, and again, 5 p.m. so around dinner time, starting to see a few sprinkles, maybe a storm out west near Lafayette. That's really going to be the case right on through the late evening as well. However, these storms up here, you can kind of say they have a little bit of curve to them. These are the ones that are going to be concerning, that we could see maybe a tornado potential in there, as well as a stronger side of a storm. So small hail, damaging winds with these as well. You'll notice closer to our area though, again, isolated showers and storms continuing to increase throughout the evening. Then it does look like we'll get a little bit of a break in terms of the rainfall with the storms off towards the east. Then you'll notice the line of storms developing out towards our west, making its way through the state of Louisiana. This is 10 p.m. So it does look like this line will get close to us very early in the morning on Tuesday. So an overnight threat is what we're looking at. But watch how it really weakens as it heads our way. So 5:30, 6 a.m. morning commute, you may run into a downpour. A storm or two could be strong, but it really loses its punch as it moves eastward into the afternoon. Again, breaking up, not as strong or heavy of rainfall that it was out towards the west by 8 p.m. and then it continues off towards the east. So we'll get clearing conditions and drier conditions by the later part of the afternoon on Tuesday. Behind it comes the cold front, and we've got a second one that's going to follow right behind it. That second one is really going to push in that much cooler air that will make for the fall feel finally by Thanksgiving. So in terms of the storm threats, I think the biggest concerns with any of the stronger storms is going to be damaging winds, followed by a low-end tornado threat, and of course we could see some small hail. But again, all of these threats are on the lower end, so it's not going to be that every storm we see gets a severe warning or even a tornado warning, but it's possible a few of them could be rogue, strong, or possibly severe. So in terms of the rain chances, we've got 20%, maybe 30 by the time we get into the evening for a few isolated showers and storms. Then that increases with the line of storms headed our way by Tuesday, again, mainly in the morning. Then we trend drier. I mean, look at this. 0 Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, just in time for the holiday. Then we do have some rain chances making a return by the weekend. So in terms of how much rain we'll get, well, this is, remember, the Weather Prediction Center rain announced through the next week. So this is not the only weather system that looks to be passing by. So the heaviest of rainfall looks to be to our north and west into northern Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, so 2 to 3 inches on average. Just to the west of Baton Rouge, for us, it looks like we'll receive a decent amount. 1 to 2 inches is certainly needed because we have such dry conditions across South Louisiana, even some drought areas as well. And then that does decrease the further south you get closer to the coast. This is the latest drought monitor. This came out last Thursday. Lots of abnormally dry. That's the yellow. The beige is actually moderate drought, and starting to see some severe drought conditions starting to develop near Lafayette. So we'll certainly welcome the rainfall with this as well. But I know the most exciting thing is we got to get through the severe weather threat, right? But then this is a much stronger cold front. So we'll go from the low 80s back to more seasonable temperatures just in time for Thanksgiving. I mean, it even looks like we'll be slightly below for Thanksgiving and for Black Friday. Then we'll get in a little bit of a warming trend back to the 70s for the weekend, along with those rain chances that I was mentioning. So here's an early outlook for Thanksgiving for Thursday. It will be chilly to start, but then by lunchtime, if you're doing a lunchtime Thanksgiving dinner, we'll be into the upper 50s, low 60s, so certainly feeling nice. And then afternoon highs really only topping out in the mid 60s for Thanksgiving. So it will be cool and it will feel like fall for the holiday. But we do have to watch for some of those stronger storms developing overnight into early tomorrow morning. So if you have our app, you'll get those alerts, and you may need to wake up in case there is a severe weather alert or anything like that. But for the most part, I do think these are lower end threats, so I think we'll be okay. Once we get through the morning though, we'll start to get the cooler air in just in time for the holiday. So here comes our next cool down into the 60s by Wednesday. Mid 60s is what we're looking like for Thursday for Thanksgiving. Maybe even some mornings in the upper 30s, so certainly will be chilly to start Black Friday. And then we'll get those rain chances back returning for the weekend. So Jeff Moore will have more details on the timing of the storms expected tonight into tomorrow morning, and of course the latest details on that severe weather threat and more as we head into Thanksgiving holiday right here on the Noon Show in just an hour.